This is DownHome Sports, covering the best sports and student athletes in Ellis County. Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank with ATM Live, powered by the people. Not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. The United States Marine Corps, the fighting spirit of an entire nation. Doe City Pizza and Burgers. For the best in artisan pizza and burgers, go to Doe City in Red Oak, Texas, across from the high school. It is delicious.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy to access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
We are welcoming in the Italy Gladiator football team, the one and the only around Ellis County, the Gladiators. Coach Cruz, throwing it to you. Why don't you give us an introduction on who you got with you today?
Yes, sir. Like you said, I'm Coach Cruz. I'm the defensive coordinator here at Italy. I got two seniors here. This is Omar De La Hoya. He's a starting tackle, and he anchors that offensive line for Coach Moore and his offense. This is Julius Williams. We call him Puckett, and he does it all for us. He plays D end. He plays receiver. He plays running back. He's our return guy, and he's a leading senior on the defensive side and offensive side. And then Coach Moore, offensive coordinator.
Awesome. Now, Julius, do we call you Julius or do we call you Puckett?
I'm used to going by Puckett, It used to be
Okay.
Julius.
Now, let me ask you this. Where did the nickname come from?
It came from my granny.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nobody's going to argue with that answer.
Well, here's the deal, Seth. We finally got a team that's bringing the line. They're bringing us where the brisket hits the blacktop, which I love. Okay. So, guys, we're going to jump right to y'all. Okay. Just talk about the offensive line. We joked around a little bit before about scoop block and stuff like that. And, how are y'all working things with such a heavy running attack?
Well, we really just, in general, we're not really a huge line. So we focus on speed, really, and then just run around, concentrate with what we can. And then mainly cut block, which annoys the crap out of the other team. And then they start going back, and we beat them with speed after that.
Well, Coach Moore, just talk about your offensive line for a second, since we got one here. Most of the time they don't get a lot of love. There's been a kind of emphasis this year on chop blocking. It seems like around the state, everybody's getting called for penalties on it. Just talk about, how technique overrules sometimes size, and being able to get around and, have those seal blocks has helped your offense thus far.
Like he's mentioned, we don't have a whole lot of size on our line. Omar's one of our bigger guys, and so we got to emphasize that technique. And a lot of it's just we rep communication, because we got to know who's the guy going low, who's the guy wrapping around. And that's one thing they've done really good this year. I think we've had 2 chop blocks, and it was just a miss of communication. It wasn't anything that we were out of alignment or anything, like just we called something, they shifted, and we didn't make that adjustment. But other than that, we've been pretty clean all year. We've had, I think, 6 total penalties in the first 5 games on the offensive side. But it's just something we rep, and that's something when Horn brought me in, he's like, hey, we need to, get this line going. They got some smart guys coming back, but youth-wise, as far as experience, we only had 2 returners. The 3 other guys, it's their first time on the Friday Night Lights, so they've taken it really well. He's anchoring it down on that right side of the tackle for us, and he's our big puller for us, and he just does a lot of good things for us, and he's kind of taking that leadership. And if someone's messing up, hey, get out, next man up. And so that's been good for us. And we had to be technically sound because we don't have guys that are my size at 6'7", 300. We're all, 5'10", 200, maybe 230 on some of the bigger guys, but we just do everything sound. And like you said, we just try to annoy you by getting on your legs. And after a while, it takes a toll, especially the 2A ball where a lot of guys are going both ways, O lineman or D lineman, and they can't handle that type of attack. And we're blessed with guys that only play offensive line and might be a backup on defense. And so my guys are usually fresh. When we're on defense, we're over there making adjustments, and they're real cerebral. And that's been great for me in my career, because I haven't had an O-line that's that cerebral and can pick it up on the fly. So, I mean, I take a whole lot of credit to this guy, because he's my only senior. And so he's been kind of that coach on the field for me. So when he knows, and we joke about it all the time, how we just got to be that annoying gnat at a barbecue, just keep getting at him.
Awesome. Well, Coach Cruz, coming over to you, you would talk about Julius. You got some senior leadership on that defense, and you guys have played hard-hitting football. Outside of those couple losses you guys had, you're holding teams to single digits. Talk about what that defense has done well, and then the leadership that Julius and these seniors are showing to help you guys improve week to week, especially with district starting up on Friday.
No doubt. Yes, sir. And like Coach Moore was saying, just to reiterate, man, I have a bunch of guys on the defensive side that are strictly defense. So when we get those 3 and outs, which, man, we love them. When we get those 3 and outs, we go to the sideline and we're communicating, hey, what do y'all see? What's the cadence? Are they giving us any looks we haven't seen in practice? And going back to practice, I think we can all agree that on our side that we focus a lot on defense. And Coach Horn has a saying, if they don't score, they can't win. And man, we live by that. And when we come up here on Saturdays and game plan, we walk out of here with our defensive game plan, and we'll call each other on Sundays, and then we'll go out and we'll echo everything to our guys. And we usually execute all our stuff on Monday, and Tuesdays we rep our 1s and 2s. Wednesdays we're putting the hay in the barn, and you know, and we throw in some wrinkles here and there, but usually we stick to our game plan. And man, it's man, I've been blessed to have a good coach like Coach Horn, who is able to be a mentor to me, and have good kids that like Puckett and some other seniors that lead the team defensively and give an opportunity for us to be successful.
Julius, coming to you and playing that defensive end position, you know, everybody gets loud and rowdy for a sack. They think that could be the end-all, be-all, but there's a lot more to be in that end spot than just going and getting the quarterback. You're closing the edges. You're filling those gaps, stopping that running game. Talk about the wear and tear that playing on those ends takes on you, and the mental fortitude that, yeah, it might not be a pass play, but when they're running on those gaps, you're having to close those holes, get off that block, and tackle that guy down.
You know, it's not as bad as you would think, minus the cutting. That's one thing I usually have to watch out for, because Coach always talks about, you know, playing 1,000 miles an hour. Don't worry about this guy, just get to the mesh. But, you know, besides worrying about the cutting, filling the gaps, that's just one big thing that I have to work on myself, me, and the other, you know. We just have to work on that, get better at that.
Well, Coach Moore, we were out there this summer, got to come on the field, do a little videotape, and see some of the practices out there. It just seemed like this team was in really good condition to start the season. And can you talk a little bit about y'all's off-season program and how that may have vaulted y'all to have this good of a record going into district?
Yeah, I came in late. I was a late hire. My wife got here as the head girls coach. So when I came in late, man, that summer conditioning, it was just, as my old coach used to say, it was just feathers, man. Kids flying around, going through the weights, hitting the conditioning parts. There was no time for rest. That's one thing we emphasize in the workout period or in the morning when we lift. Hey, we don't sit. Like, if you got to get that auxiliary in, and if you can get extra reps in, that's one thing that these kids have bought into. Either it's a 7 a.m. lift, or during the period, man, they're, like I said, it's got some feathers. We're all going at it, and it's great. I mean, I've been several programs throughout, but this is probably by far the hardest working program I've been in. And it's just blessed to be here. And just, that's one thing we condition is in their brain is like, hey, it's 100 miles an hour, like Puckett talked about earlier. Like, there is no free play for us. And whether it's sprinting off because we're getting subbed in, or we're coming in to take out a sub, or we're hurrying up getting to the line on the offensive side to keep that tempo going that we kind of like to do. And defensively, they're flying around. And I mean, it's awesome. You see some of the film, it's just, 11 hats to the ball. We emphasize that in practice in our off season. And I'm excited to see what after this season does and get back into the off-season role and continue what Horn has done here the last 4 years and just keep it rolling.
Well, and Omar, going against a guy like Puckett every day in practice, iron sharpens iron. So how do y'all use this time to benefit each other to take yourselves to that next level?
Well, he's a fast.
Okay, hang on. The hum means that he's beating you an awful lot. That's all I'm hearing.
He's the fastest DN I've ever played. He makes me get better. I make him get better. We compete every day in practice. And he even tells me he's probably I'm one of the best competitors he's won against. So we just play against each other 100% of the practice and then keep making us so better the whole season.
And
Well,
that's
Coach
one
Kurt-
thing. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's one thing Coach Warren, he always says to get the best out there. And that's what makes us defensively better and the offense better is we're going best 11 out there. And like we were saying, we two platoon it. So, when you do have your best DN and your best tackle going at it, they're only going to make each other better. And it makes that Friday night, it makes them have a good look and it makes them better for Friday night, no doubt.
Well, then that kind of answers my question. But so, Julius, I'm going to come to you, though. Playing on both sides of the ball, but when you're defensively, not only going up against Omar, but you got two senior leaders in the Jadens at quarterback and running back across from you that are hard-hitting, smart guys. When you're going up against them, how much better, not just going against Omar, but when you play on both sides and you get out there on defense, knowing what those guys are on the other side, does that help to elevate when you get out in some of those games? Because you're not going to find much better at the quarterback and running back position than what y'all got in Italy. Going up against that on a day in and day out basis help you to elevate your game when you get out there on Friday night. Know that you're not going to see anything that's shocking or surprising to you.
Yes, it actually does better me. When Mar is at running back, I'm like, oh man, here we go. I'm have to get past him, or I have to worry about him. I'm have to hit him hard. And then when they're doing scout team mode, maybe Bar be on defense with us sometimes. So I'm like, that's a little relief. Now I got to worry about Omar going and Ballard coming. And then when Saxon goes, sometimes he'll get me with a fake. I'll mess up and he'll like coach me up like Coach Cruz. If he beats Coach Cruz to it, he'll be like, it's all right, Coach, I got it. And then he'll tell me what I did wrong.
So almost you got to worry about getting hit by Bar on any play.
Not too much. I mean, I can stick with it, but sometimes he'll catch me off guard and he'll get me on one.
Gotcha.
So, Coach Moore, sticking with that offensive group, how easy does it make it for you, especially late hire? You come in through the program late, but you're getting a grasp with a bunch of older guys, and you're getting to work. You got Omar on the line helping with that leadership. You got Jaden Saxon behind the quarterback, Jane Barr on the running back end. How much easier does that make it for you when you're game planning, knowing that you have guys that have a grasp and a handle on what they're doing, making it more confidence for you when you're calling those plays?
That's the good thing. I mean, and that's one thing Horn and we work hard on Saturday. And, this is a system that Horn's had at Tenaha, and he had it at Tasca previously in a similar system at Hubbard. So the system's been there, and I've been learning a lot. I'll take that, man. I'll take that. And then just, they know the system. It's been there. So me coming in, I'm just having to learn the system, and it's very similar to what I've coached in the past. So there's really no changes. Now I'll throw in my wrinkles and we'll look at it and be like, oh, okay, those things work. And they're receptive to it. There's some things I've tweaked on the line to help them out, get better angles and whatnot. And I'll talk with Saxon a lot. We'll watch film, just him and I, showing him what he sees in the secondary on the passing game to help him out to be better. But we're blessed with guys here that just love to compete, love to play, and how they've talked about going against each other, ones versus ones on scout team O versus the team D. There's no love lost, man. We're getting after it. I'm one of the biggest cheerleaders when my lineman gets the best of them, because it don't happen that often, and there's a lot of stalemates. But when we get that one up, man, I let them know, man, y'all do this now. No one can stop you on a Friday night, and especially when rolling in the playoffs. And it's been fun, especially learning under a coach like Warren, who's been there and seen a lot and done a lot in his career, and just hoping I can take that, and when my time comes and whatnot, I can use that. But man, I give it all to the kids, man. They're the ones going out there and executing and just hoping they retain just a fraction of what we talk about, and they actually take that fraction and turn it into a whole. And that's what's been great about being here.
Well, Coach Cruz, we had, like I said, we had a chance to come down there, Can't remember how to say the young man's name, but it's Naimia.
Nakoa, Safe Chuck. Are you talking about Kaimana? His name is
Kaimana.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay, so how great is it to have a defensive guy that no matter the question that we asked him, his answer was, I get to hit people hard. That was the only answer he gave us for the entire interview.
No doubt, no doubt. And like Coach Moore says, it'll get chippy down there, especially when we go run hole. And we got those, we got them going at each other. It gets chippy and it gets the competitive juices get flying. And man, he's been awesome for us. And he had an ankle injury in that Chilton game, and he didn't play the Rice game. I think he didn't play the Mildred game and came back against Mart, and we're happy to have him back. And he's a big part of our defensive line and just getting after. I mean, like Puckett said, we coach all those guys from the D line to the secondary to play fast. Heck, one of our linebackers isn't but 150. I think both of them are about 150 pounds. They're little dudes, but man, we teach them and coach them to play fast. And so Mana's one of those guys, plays fast, play relentless, give zero care about the body, just go after the ball. And it's awesome having him and Puckett and some of those other guys just flying around.
Well, just remember, Jack Lambert only weighed 150 pounds too. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, they don't know them.
Okay.
So, Omar, going to come to you. As district is about to start up for you guys Friday night, you're coming off a bye week. The week before that, you played Mart, had a loss there. But this is a group that has found a lot of success the past couple years. You've been there now. This is your senior year. You've played under Coach Horn. Talk about coming off of a loss, now off this bye week to start. We can call it the second half, the real season that counts. District play starting. This is when it matters. Talk about how the character that it takes to come off a loss and to build. And now you're getting into it. This is district play. What's it like down there in the locker room and the mindset of coming from last week to we are getting better, start district, here we go.
We all got a great feeling about number one team in the state, and we compete up to a level at halftime, and then so we already got a feeling we can play there. We got to come in, play harder, forget about it this bye week, put in the past, focus on Marlin, and then this Friday we got to play hard, play 100%, play just like we played in the first half against Mart.
Well, Puckett, you're in your senior year, and a lot of things that you take for granted, playing high school football, coming past, you start noticing your senior year. How important it is to you not only to be a great role model on the field for what physical athleticism can look like and excellence, but also being that role model off the field to all those young kids in Italy?
It feels good because, when we do good things on Friday or, you may mess up, but regardless, we do good things on Friday, you come to the sideline, we got the younger kids down there, and you might made a good hit or something or caused a fumble, made a touchdown, and they're just bragging about it, and it means the world to them. So by that happening, it means the world to me. So I always try to do my best. So that way when I come to them, they can always talk about it. Yeah, you can do that too when you get older.
Coach Moore, as a guy who's coming in first year coaching there at Italy, talk about what you've seen atmosphere-wise, because only people that have been there, and you can talk to locals all the time, Italy has got a specific feeling to it, whether it's the community, whether it's the kids. But as a guy coming in, playing under Coach Horn, what have you noticed about the atmosphere around Italy High School and then around the town?
I mean, I grew up in a small town not far from here, Clifton. I'm familiar with Italy. We played against them when I was in the high school in the 90s. It's always that, nothing beats small town football. I mean, the town shuts down. They're there. They're rowdy. I love that. That's the places I like to be. Most of my career has been at the 3A or 2A level. So it's like coming home for me. I mean, like I said, I grew up down the road. I'm familiar with Italy as a player, and now coming back, my wife is from here. We have family here, so it really is a family atmosphere, from the staff to the players to the kids who don't play football. It's always, they can't wait for Friday night. I mean, like I said, there's nothing to do in town except come out and watch us, whoop up on somebody and talk about the Mart game. we had, that game, it was a tough game. It was a hard loss to swallow, but looking back at it, a few key mistakes and we're in that game and, and we're up in that game and they're the ones having to climb back. And, so taking that, and even though the score doesn't dictate how the game really was, but our kids really rallied around that and understood, hey, we can play with the best in the state. And we proved it. And, Mark even contacted us, said, hey man, y'all had us dead to rights. Those, a couple of mistakes that y'all had, that changed the game, but no one really got down on it. Like we kept fighting and fighting, and we took it into this bye-week practice and then started up today with our first practice, getting ready for Marlin. And it's just been great, man. The buzz around town's like, we can go far, we're 100% healthy now. And we got everybody rocking and rolling. So that's going to be a good test on us on Friday. But I mean, it's home for me, man. I mean, it's the home away from home. I got family coming in and just meeting these people and the staff and everything that really accepted me as, I'm a gladiator, and that's what we're here for. And the kids, like I said, I'm always going to allude to that. The kids are great. They've been really receptive for me when I came in June, and it's been awesome, man. And working with a guy like Cruz, who's, not only coached under Horn now, but, played for Horn in his high school days, and just learning those things from him. And we feed off of a lot of each other, and we'll sit here and game plan. It's just that family atmosphere. It's hard to beat. And sometimes you can't get that at any other level besides this one.
Well, Coach Cruz, we've heard some great things here tonight, but one of the great things about, small town high school football is the coaching staffs. Bigger staffs, you kind of get into segmented groups. You don't necessarily have a voice. And I know Coach Horn allows y'all to have your input on this thing. How great is it to have a head coach like that and a tight staff, that y'all can not only be as good in between the lines as you are with these kids, but even better people outside the lines with them as well?
Hey, no doubt. Like Coach Moore said, it's a blessing just to be under a coach that's been there, done that. And, he has crap ton of wins under his belt. And when we're meeting on Saturday, everybody voices their opinion. Hey, let's do this. What if we do this? And Coach Horn, he's one of those guys. He hears everybody. You have a voice, and we all share our thoughts, ideas on not only the kids, the game plan, but on how things are going and all that. And it's awesome being under Coach Horn, and I'll always be grateful. At the end of the day, he's the one that brought me here, and trusted me with running his defense, and I'll forever be grateful for him. Whatever the future holds. And it's awesome being, like you said, like Coach Moore said, in the staff where, at the end of the day, we're all grown men, and we all have our thoughts, and we all share our thoughts, and we all can talk openly with one another as far as football goes, no doubt.
Well, guys, I want to ask both y'all the same question. Omar, we're going to start with you, okay? How has this staff affected you throughout your time being a gladiator?
It was great. This current staff right now is the best I've had. Like I was saying to myself, all the other old line. I was saying if I would have had that last year, 2 years ago, we would have been great. We would have been like going to state every year and all that. And then Coach Horn knows what he's doing. He knows how to hire, who to hire. All these coaches are great. They do everything for us so we can put back, and then they try the hardest to make us best.
Well, Puppy, what about you, man? How have they affected your life?
Man, I love it. I love it here. It's actually good. We got all perfect coaches. I'm talking about you get on the field, they know how to joke with you, but when it comes time to get into it, they're gonna get on to you, they're gonna coach you up. It's like a father-son thing. They're gonna show you how to do it, show you the technique, and then you can like voice your opinion towards it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But they're gonna try to help you in the best way. And they're in school and they try to help you. They're coaching you up still. They're motivating you to do the best you can and try to help you through everything you do.
Awesome. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your evening to join us. Y'all guys have Marlin at home to Open District, right, Friday?
Yes, sir.
And so we wish y'all the best of luck. We're going to try to get down there, maybe get some footage. But thank y'all again, Coach Cruz, Coach Moore, Puckett, Omar. Wish y'all the best of luck. Go get them. Hopefully we can get y'all on here in a few weeks talking about a district championship if you'll let us. So thank y'all so much, and y'all go get them.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Elite Tire and Automotive. Ever have one of those days and just need a little hand? Well, with our remote services, we'll just hop right on it. Get you back on the road quick and easy. With automotive services to cover all your mechanical needs. Need that state inspection done? Well, we can do that too. So roll on in and see a friendly face. Give us a call, and we can be right on the spot to assist you. So trust the friendly folks down at Elite Tire and Automotive, 972-775-1055.
We are welcoming in Miss Kinley McElye, right?
Yes, sir.
From the Ennis golf team. We appreciate you taking time out of your evening to come and join us. Very rarely do we get the opportunity to talk to some golfers. I always love it because I love sucking at golf. Don't get me wrong, I'm not very good, but it's fun. And then I know Tater played a tournament, I think last weekend.
Yeah,
And so
it was horrible.
it feels good.
Having me.
No problem, no problem. So I will start with what led you to be hooked on golf? Because as one sport, I have a brother that played golf. He played through college, and it seems like it's a small niche. It's growing, but that not a lot of kids get involved with. What led you to golf, and what really hooked you to say, "Hey, I'm pretty good. This is what I want to do."
Well, I played softball growing up, and team sports really are not my thing. I like to be independent. My dad's played golf for a very long time, and he's pretty good. And I ended up going to one golf camp and cried the whole time because I did not want to be there, and I have not played softball since. It's just,
Nice.
Wow.
I caught on pretty quick, and I didn't have a coach for the longest time. I just recently, a year ago, have a steady coach now. But my dad pretty much just took me in on it.
So it had to have come kind of naturally then, because your last tournament, you're shooting, what was it, 60, 76, 74, and 72?
One.
73.
73. So
Yes, sir.
one over on one of those days, I mean, it's got to come pretty naturally to you.
A lot of work, a lot of range balls.
A lot of range balls. I like it.
Well, I tell you what, one of the big things about golf is just the mental part of it. Being able to put something aside and go back to the next shot. How do you focus and work on that mental aspect of the game?
Well, a lot of the times whenever I'm playing by myself, I normally ride in a golf cart, and I can see a big difference in riding in a golf cart and playing and walking and playing. Walking, I have a lot of time in between shots to be able to, let go of it. The only time I really struggle my mental game is if I'm messing up and I have 3 holes left. But if I have 5 or 6, I'm like, I'm okay. It just takes a lot. At the beginning, it was really hard because, it can easily go downhill within 1 hole.
Well, Seth, you heard what you said, right?
What?
Off the tee box, she's got a lot of time to think about it.
So she drives.
So she drives it a long ways. That's the inclination there. Okay.
Well,
Yes,
Kinley,
sir.
kind of explain too, and I know you kind of hit on it. When you talk about it, you get to these tournaments, you're carrying your own bag and you're walking. And a lot of people don't think about it, especially they go out and ride in golf carts all day. And even if they're terrible, they're like, oh, this stinks. They don't understand the conditioning that goes into when I hit a ball like a driver off the tee, I am now walking 200 plus yards to my ball, carrying my 25 to 40 pound bag on my back. Talk about the conditioning that goes into playing golf. It's not just whacking a ball around the course.
Well, normally our rounds last about 5.5 hours, and eating in between that and drinking and staying hydrated and, making sure you don't get tired. That's the hardest part because your mental game goes first and it's before you even realize it. So I try my best to just keep pushing. Our last tournament, we played 36 holes in one day and we did not stop. We went right on to the next 18. We got a sandwich and left. So that's really hard. But if you don't love golf, you're not going to be the one to do it. It's not something somebody just wants to go out and walk 18 holes. It's a lot tougher than people expect it to be.
Now, what is the snack of choice that goes in the bag?
I love Cheez-Its.
I like it.
A lot. Or the Mott's, the gummies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're on the same page on Cheez-Its.
Now,
Just original or
Spicy. Hot
spicy?
spicy.
Okay.
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 Now, see, I'm a Nutter Butter. Okay, got to keep me a bag of Nutter Butters in there.
Those are
But-
good too. Chocolate's
no,
always good.
You know, and one of the things is you know, being a golfer, you don't necessarily get the recognition around school. I imagine you are with the kind of scores that you're putting into the card and turning in every week. But you know, what would you say to somebody out there that's thinking about playing in high school golf and why they should do it? I mean, you know, you talk about camaraderie and stuff. Yeah, there's a good time on the ride there. There's a good time on the ride back. You might see each other at the clubhouse or on the turn somewhere. But other than that, you're kind of isolated out there by yourself. What would excite a young player about thinking about getting into the sport?
I mean, personally, I love the fact that I'm like one of the only girls in Ennis that play. It gives me like, you know, everybody thinks I'm on top of the world. And like seeing people excited to hear about me, that really, it makes me want to do even better. It takes a lot of time and most people are not willing to put the time in, but like just, I don't know, we don't really have a team, but we like, me and my best friend, we love to pump each other up and just the excitement on our faces, whether it's a good or bad round, we love being out there and it's real peaceful, quiet, you know, you just kind of enjoy yourself. I mean, struggling when you're playing bad is never fun, but you learn every day what you can be working on. I mean, I wish there was more people playing, more girls, more kids. If that's my goal in life, I want to come back here and start something up because it's way easier to get a scholarship for golf than it is any other sport because there's not very many girls. It just takes a lot of time and practice.
Well, Seth, you know what though, right?
What's up?
Okay, past two quarterbacks for the Ennis Lions can't shoot anywhere close to what she can.
That is true.
Hey, we've had so many matches going so hard trying to beat each other. And they will talk so much about how I play. And then whenever they finish the round, they're like, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, they were telling us about it last year. That was a fun conversation.
We enjoyed having them. It really made it way more fun than, you know, not having a team. We had team dinners the night before, riding in the van. You know, just the team aspect was amazing. And now this year we don't have them anymore, and it's pretty sad, but, you know, we're almost done with high school, so I think we can stick it out.
Well, you need to tell Ennis to open their country club back up because
I know.
Because I remember when I was a freshman in high school, and this was a long time ago, I played on the Waxahachie golf team for a year. And I remember we had several tournaments at Ennis, and I liked the course, and then it's not there anymore. So
I remember when I was younger, my dad would, I don't remember, but he's told me he would strap my car seat to the back of his golf cart while he would play holes. And I kind of like, I remember the way the course looks, but if it was open, I'd be way better than I am right now. Like, instead of having to drive to Corsicana or Ferris, it could walk out my backyard and pretty much be there.
well, I'll tell you, if you walk the Brickyard, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
With all those hills and.
That course is no fun to walk.
Or it'll make you. I may say it may make you hit the ball straight, so that way you're not having to walk on all those hills. But
See,
now
everybody says how hard the Brickyard is, but I played there for so long. It just, I don't know. I guess I just know the sweet spots because it doesn't really bother me as much as other people say it does them. I'll tell people, they'd be like, oh no, we don't like to play there. But that was my first.
That was your first course? Well, awesome.
Wow. Well, as somebody that plays out there where Bigfoot lives out in the trees all the time, you know, what is your favorite club to strike? What's your best shot out on the course?
Normally my 7-iron. My 7-iron is my go-to. So if I'm laying up to hit a shot into the green, I normally go for my 7-iron. I'll, you know, take the yardage off. But lately, I've been going through a swing change, and my pitching wedge has been my favorite. It has been on its game for quite a while now. My driver, it's always been my go-to. My driver, I depend on my driver. But in the fairway, my 7-iron or my pitching wedge.
When most people don't think about this, I have 3 daughters, right? And one of the hardest things for them, and 2 of them played golf, all 3 of them played softball, right? One of the hardest things is as their body adjusted as they're growing older, which happens a lot faster with young ladies, is that you have to continually change your swing. You're always having to make modifications to it. How do you overcome that aspect?
Well, my swing before, I was super flat. And now that I'm getting to the higher level and I need to be scoring better, my ball was never spinning on the greens. It would just, roll out forever. But I didn't really care if I had a 50-foot putt 3 years ago. Now got to where I'm pinching down on the ball, and range ball after range ball, I have sat on the range for so many hours, just, trying to make it perfect. It'll never be perfect, but I, try my best. Range balls are my best friend.
There we go.
They're my best friend too. You keep a few extra in your bag just in case you lose out. Golf balls are expensive.
Yeah.
They are very expensive.
Now let me ask you, speaking of golf balls, what is your go-to golf ball?
Titleist Pro Vs. So you can imagine how much we spend on Pro
Yeah, I was about to say it's a big chunk of change
$50 a
there.
box.
I'm sure your dad is cheering when you go through a round and don't lose a ball.
Yeah, I actually did all weekend. I did not lose one golf ball.
Hey, that's impressive. So
There,
you did
no doubles. I had no doubles.
nothing. That's awesome. Now you did go down and you played in San Antonio, correct?
Yes, sir.
And talk about getting to travel outside of just the Metroplex, traveling down south, but beginning to experience, and I know you've probably been all over, but going away from home and staying and getting to be a part of a tournament that's not just, a car drive and back away. Talk about getting to travel and playing that course down there in San Antonio this past weekend.
Well, going down there, we travel with our parents and, coach travels separately. But going down there and seeing like the different way that they do things rather than down here is pretty amazing. The course is way different. You have to worry about the green speed, how thick the fairways are. The trees are normally lining the fairways, which the course this weekend was. It was, there were quite a few trees, and you get in the trees and it's never good. But just like, seeing people that you've never seen before and getting to know people and see where they're going to college, it's very interesting. Meeting new coaches, hearing people's stories. It's stuff you'll never forget. You meet that one amazing person every time you go somewhere.
Well, and my biggest question to everybody that plays for Ennis Golf is Davenport makes sure of one thing. This is the best dressed team in not just the county, but North Texas when you take the course. How does that set you up from a mindset point, though, into now I look good, I feel good, I know my shots are good off the practice box. Now I can go out there and have a round. Does that actually give you a mental edge?
Yes, it does. You walk up and they can't look at you like, oh, what kind of game does this girl have? They think positive of you as soon as you walk up. And just getting on the tee box and knowing that you look good, it really, makes you feel good, whether it's really early in the morning or not. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You get up and you're like, oh my goodness. But you put that outfit on and you all of a sudden just have all this energy.
There we go.
He always takes care of us.
I like it. Well, Kinley, what are your goals for this season? I know everybody says all the time, well, I want to win. Well, and then that's great. But personally, what goals have you set, and what are maybe some things that you're trying to achieve? Not just at your state championship. Is it a certain score? Is it I want to be able to do this with this club? What are maybe some goals you've got for this season?
I want to have a few rounds under par. I know, doing that or winning a tournament gets college's attention. And, my goal is to go to UNT here in, Denton. But, under par, I've shot under par. I shot 3 under at my practice round before the tournament. That was my best score ever. But just doing it in tournament, after you're 3 under, it's hard to keep it that way. You're like, I can have a bogey and I'll be okay. But I really need some under par scores that are in tournaments documented. But I also play in tournaments out of school. And those are really where the colleges are, they're looking. And if I was to win one of those, just one of them, I'd have quite a few emails. But under par, I shot under par one time at the Brickyard during a school tournament, but it was, it wasn't that big of a school tournament. So under par is my biggest goal.
Awesome.
Tips.
Well, I can tell you from what you've been doing, the scores you're posting, because are you senior, junior?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have colleges coming and knocking. You just stay patient. And so,
Yes,
but we want to say thank you, Kinley, for taking time out of your evening. We know you got stuff going on, for joining us, letting us dive into a little bit of your brain, a little bit of some Ennis golf. And so thank you so much. Wish you the best of luck. And seriously, you keep swinging the way you're swinging. You'll have people calling. We know you'll get there. So keep working, and we can't wait to see what you do. Maybe have you on again later this year, talk about some tournament wins and maybe some rounds under par. How about that?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it.
In Ellis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
That it's cooked to order, so you're always gonna get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious. It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas. Well, hey, Ellis County, guess what? We got football, we got volleyball going on right now, but the big thing is all year long, these are the kind of folks that are taking care of those teams. It's the trainers. We're with Midlothian Training right now. We got Russell Wagner, we got Lindsay, we got Allie. Welcome y'all here today. And Wags, let's just talk about trainers in general. Can we kind of just get a sense of when your season starts for football and volleyball? I mean, it's got to be midsummer that y'all start getting this thing together.
Yeah, so we typically start. We got a year long. And essentially, we're on a 10.5-month contract as athletic trainers for the district. Everybody thinks that we got the entire summers off. Reality of it is, even though we're off for that month and a half during the summer, we're starting to get things ready. Honestly, when July 1st rolls around, the new accounting season starts up. That's basically really pretty much when the two staff athletic trainers start working. We start getting things ready for the student trainers, figuring out what we need to order for them, start trying to get with them and figure out what their schedules are based off of whether or not they have jobs, what days we need to work around for them, get all the schedules set up. So student trainers typically start showing up usually, honestly, the first week of August. We kind of have a couple of day orientation with them just to make sure we get some information to them, get them the practice schedules, get them the game schedules, kind of talk a little bit about the main hitting points of the year, which 9 times out of 10 is going to be heat illnesses, concussions, and certain life issues such as obviously heart attacks and diabetes and things like that. And then usually that first week, volleyball starts up in August. Football starts the following week. Cross country typically starts that week. Tennis starts that week. So usually by the first, second week in August, we're going full tilt right off the start. 2 weeks before school starts in theory.
Well, and Lindsay, y'all started right off the bat with 4 sports, and most people don't get that. So there's a lot of different injury between a tennis injury and what may cause that and how you're going to treat it versus, let's say, volleyball or football. How much information do y'all have to digest in that short period of time?
Me?
Yeah, Lindsay.
I would say a lot because me and Allie are in the training class and we go after school, and we had to learn a lot quicker because we started our sophomore year, and usually you start your freshman year. So we were already put on JV teams and varsity teams, so we had to pick it up, absorb that information a lot quicker than a lot of other students could handle.
Wow. Well, Allie, you're gone all the time. The trainers, y'all got to be at all these different events.
How do y'all handle that plus your academic work?
It definitely gets pretty stressful whenever you're like leaving early during a class and you have like a test or something that you need to do, and then you have to make it up like the following week. But you stay up pretty late doing all of your work, but eventually it's kind of worth it, like going to the games and everything, but obviously like passing classes and everything. But it gets pretty stressful, but in the end it kind of works out.
You gotcha. Well, Wags, you know, you brought these two young ladies on for a reason. Would you mind sharing a little bit about each one of them?
Absolutely. Just like Allie and Lindsay both said, you know, these two kids came to us as sophomores. And obviously, I can't say enough about them, how quickly they picked up what athletic training is and what it entails. I tell these kids all the time, the reality of it is I know most of these kids are not going to go on to college to do this as a profession. I mean, it's a time-consuming job, and I don't expect most of our kids to go on to do this. But what I do expect for them to learn are basic life skills. And just like Allie said, you know, managing time between her academics and this. I mean, these two kids have done a great job of it year after year after year. And these kids that are here today really exemplify what we ask of our student trainers. They do a great job academically. They do a good job of leading our younger student trainers. And they're honestly, I can't say it any other word, they're just good kids. They really are.
Well, I can tell you, I know they work their tail ends off because I get to see them, you know. But Lindsay, let's talk back to you real quick, okay? How do y'all stay so poised when some of these injuries are pretty major, you know, that y'all are taking care of? How do y'all stay that poised at that young of an age?
What I can give credit to a lot of is Wags and BG, because they've really helped us with not only knowing what steps we need to take, but also knowing that they're going to be there right with us in all of these serious injuries. We're always going to have help, and it's kind of hard, but losing thought. It's hard, but having them with us really helpful.
Awesome. And Allie, you know, y'all have your own team on the field. Now, everybody else is playing, but y'all have your team. And just talk about the camaraderie between all the trainers out there and how y'all work so tightly together.
You know, whenever the underclassmen get moved up to varsity, it kind of gets like not stressful, but like kind of forming new friendships, new bonds with everybody. And then once you get to know everybody, it gets really fun, and you form new friendships, you hang out a lot, you laugh a lot. And whenever we're in the training room, we're always like messing around, having fun. But like once we're on the field, we try and limit that as much as we can, even though sometimes it doesn't really work out. But we kind of have a lot of fun in general. And I don't really know how to put it, but
just throw it out there.
I don't really know. I'm kind of losing my train of thought.
That's okay.
Just kind of like, I have honestly no clue how to say it. I kind of already said it, but
okay.
I think what I'm trying to say is on the field, it's work. We're working. We're there to make sure all of our players are healthy and hydrated, and then when we're off the field, we can go back to the serious side of training.
Gotcha. Well, Wags, you know, one of the things is I don't think people really realize how much you impact all the athletic programs there, you and BG, and the rest of the trainers around Ellis County. Just talk about, you know, the interactions and how that becomes a positive thing throughout the year with helping some of the athletes get back to their prime performance levels.
I mean, we've got a lot of, like I said, I mean, we got a lot of sports that, unfortunately, they sustain some pretty serious injuries. I mean, part of, I hate to say it, part of probably the unspoken job of being an athletic trainer, 9 times out of 10 is actually being a kind of a team psychologist. You got to keep these kids motivated. You got to keep them working hard, and you got to keep them seeing what the end goal is, which is getting back out there on the field or the court, depending on what sport it is they play. A lot of these kids really struggle to understand what the injury is, and you got to teach them what the injury is. You got to teach them what they did wrong to potentially, hopefully, help them from sustaining another injury of that sort. A lot of what we do is education, not necessarily just academically for the classroom, but as much as it is education for their sport. Keeping them educated on proper hydration, proper nutrition, proper weightlifting techniques, proper ball handling skills, or footwork, or just depending on what the sport is. I mean, I know a lot of people think that a lot of what athletic training is just getting a hurt kid to the doctor, and that's where it ends. And it's furthest from the truth. There's so much more to it than just teaching some of the basic fundamentals. You almost have to be a coach for all these sports to try to help them correct their problems so that they stay on the court or on the field.
Well, and Allie, how do you take that kind of thing, you know, being a student trainer, right? So you're out there and you're trying to give these guys advice, right? And you got somebody like Coach White over here trying to make you laugh sometimes. I know that much is true. So, you know, I'll call out Cliff any time of week. But no, you know, but I mean, in all seriousness, though, how much have you learned about each one of these sports, and how are you going to take that further in your life? Are you planning on taking that further? Are you planning on going into a nursing degree, anything like that?
Yeah, definitely being in training has really opened my eyes and seeing like, okay, maybe I want to go into the medical field. It seems like a really cool thing to go into, learning about everything about like the body and everything. And so once I joined training, I realized that, okay, I think I want to like go into the medical field. So I'm thinking of being like a NICU nurse, a baby nurse at the hospitals, kind of helping babies. Yeah. At first I wanted to be a pediatrician, but then I was thinking kind of like to work up to that, to start, you know, at the first level and then slowly work my way up. But yeah, that's what I've really kind of joined training for, is to see what my options are.
Very nice. Well, Lindsay, what about you? How are you going to take training into the rest of your life?
Before I joined training, I wanted to be a veterinarian, and then I joined training and realized I enjoyed it. And I've actually have thought about doing training in college and maybe making a career out of it, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Well, girls, we're going to go back down to y'all. So, Lindsay, we're going to start with y'all. What is the special bond? Because, I mean, I know the man loves Dr. Pepper, okay? And he keeps enough cough drops there for, you know, Austin Guest to choke a horse. But, you know, let's talk about, you know, Wags, BG, you know, these guys that y'all spend so much time with. And I know it's probably, you know, a good thing. Talk about them and how they're affecting your lives.
Oh, Lord, I could go on and on about BG and Wags and the impact that they've had on me. And we do spend a lot of time together. I mean, since I started training my sophomore year, I've had a class with BG. I've been with Wags for training, or been with BG for basketball, and they just really, their number one priority is us and making sure our grades are good and we're comfortable and all of that. But they really mean a lot to all of the trainers.
Awesome. Well, Allie, what about you? How have they affected you?
Yeah, whenever like we refer to you as almost like our kids. Like we'll always be there for you, and like BG and Wags have really helped us all out, and they're always there for us, you know, helping us through like tricky situations and helping us in general, like keeping us going and everything, because I know they really helped me. I was going through some rough times, and they're always there to like keep my day brighter, help me through everything. But yeah, that's what I really like them.
Well, and Wags, you know, I've known you for a while now, and just how good does it feel
to not only know that the impact that you're having with these athletes, but the special impact that you're having with this group every year. I mean, there's a reason these trainers come back year after year and don't quit the program. And a lot of it has to do with you and BG and the relationships y'all are building.
Yeah, I mean, I think BG and I are very similar in the fact that I think we're very naturally just caring people. I mean, we wouldn't do this job if we weren't caring. And we do tell these girls a lot of times, we do consider them like our children. We try to hopefully have the same impact that we have on them that we had on our own kids. And we hope that they learn something from us and value hopefully what we're trying to teach them. Do we butt heads about stuff? Absolutely. I think Lindsay will testify that, and so will Allie. Does it always end up nice and comfortable at the end of the day? 9 times out of 10, yes. Do families argue and disagree? Absolutely. But in the big scheme of things, they see why we do what we do. And hopefully they learn from what we teach them. I mean, it's great to hear that, that these kids do value the relationships that we have, and we absolutely value those relationships just as much.
Well, Allie, we're going to get a little goofy now, okay? We're going to start with you. So for all the trainers in Ellis County, you're going to speak for all of them, okay? And we're just going to stick with the football guys, all right? Because the trainers over the years have told me that they're some of the most aromatic people, okay? So here's a question. What could somebody on the football team do to make it a lot easier on y'all?
Oh gosh. Make it a lot easier on us.
Yeah, like clip their toenails.
Oh yeah, literally
Okay.
everything you can think of for them to maintain themselves, self-care, really. I've talked to some of the football players and they're like, oh yeah, I don't wash my pads, I don't wash anything. And then you're just like, oh my God, how long have you gone without washing anything? How long have you had that? And then just like, okay, kind of have like a little rehab day to yourself and just clean everything you have head to toe.
There we go. Well, Lindsay, y'all are together so much. I don't know how you'd find time, but do y'all have like a little team dinner sometimes? Have y'all gotten Wags and BG to do a TikTok with y'all yet? Anything like that?
I know that Wags has made a TikTok with one of the trainers, and we have our own TikTok account. And with all the time that we do spend together at school and after school and at games, we still hang out with each other out of school probably just as much. No getting away from anybody. We're all really close friends.
Well, we need that TikTok posted out there so we can spread this around a little bit, okay?
I have nothing to do with the TikTok post. That's them. They've come up with some good things to put in there, just random things they find on TikTok that absolutely applies to athletic training, and they're fun.
Well, Wags, one of the other things out there is just, it seems like these kids have such a great time. They learn a lot. They're influencing their classmates, the whole 9 yards. What would you tell somebody that might be thinking about, as an 8th grader or a 9th grader that's out there that's thinking about getting into this? What would you tell them to expect and why they should be doing this?
What to expect? I mean, I tell every kid this and that gets interested in it is it's a time-consuming job. I mean, it's no different than being an actual football player or being a volleyball player or basketball, depending on if they play a sport. It's just as time-consuming. And in my opinion, it's actually harder because these kids are working 2 sports every year. So they're working football, and Lindsay and Allie both work basketball as their second sport. So it's tough. I mean, it's a 2-sport athlete, and they work, pretty much year round. It is a time-consuming job that is unfortunately not glorified enough. They don't get the credit that they deserve from a lot of their peers, as well as, unfortunately, some of our coaches. But what can I tell you to expect? Expect a lot of long hours. Expect getting behind in classwork. The good things about it is you're gonna make some lifelong friends out of it. You're going to, whether it's student trainers or athletes, or coaches. You're going to make a connection with people that you probably wouldn't not have ever thought to make a connection to. And it will end up being potentially some lifelong friends. There's a lot of good times involved in it. We try to do what we can to make this as enjoyable as possible. It's not always fun, but we try to do what we can to make it as fun as we can. But it's just, you got to be caring. You got to be willing to help people, and you got to be willing to touch stinky feet.
Well, speaking of feet, Allie, Lindsay, real quick, best time wrapping an ankle.
59 seconds.
Okay, Allie?
It's 49 seconds.
Whoa, that is smoking.
It is. They're almost my time.
Hey now. Well, ladies, Wags, thank y'all so much for joining us. And folks, if you're at an Ellis County match, game, whatever it is, make sure to give the trainers a little bit of love, because they're taking care of everybody out there. Even the coaches, believe it or not, they do help them out as well. And they're as big a part as anything, and they make our Friday and Tuesday nights awesome. Ladies, Wags, thanks again so much. And we need to have a trainer week in Ellis County pretty soon, and we'll probably be getting on that pretty soon. Maybe we'll have trainer games one year. Okay. Well, thank y'all so much, and we'll see you on down the road.
Thanks, Tate.
Pinnacle Bank is here to help our community grow by partnering with local real estate agents and developers to bring the services we need.
There's so much happening here, and we're able to get Pinnacle Bank to join up with us. They've got a location at the Midlothian Crossing, and Christy, you're doing a great job. Debbie, you too. I love, for me as a local broker, is to bring local people to you as a prospect, and to show that you're part of the community.
So talk with someone you can trust about commercial loans and business services. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
All right, Ellis County, guess what? We're catching back up with the Lady Hawks volleyball team. Red hot right now. They've been having a great season. 15-19 played some big-time tournaments, tough teams out there. 5-1 in district right now and looking like a juggernaut as they're hitting the turn. So, Victoria, let's talk about the things thus far this season that have made y'all season click so much. What would you say they were?
I would say the fact that we've known each other for so long and have got to like bond as a team together, because there's 5 seniors and there's only 11 people on the team, which is almost half. So we've known each other since we were like in 7th grade, even before that for some of us. So
Awesome. Well, Chelsea, what's the driving force behind the great defense that y'all been playing? I'm looking at the dig part, right? So that means that front line and that back row have to be working in sync. Just talk about that right there and how that's worked out for y'all.
We have this sophomore named Kennedy, and she's really, really good. And this year we're like thriving off of our middles. So no matter what we do, we always try to get the ball to the middle. If not the middle, then our outsides. And our back row is very strong this year, and they have great communication. So that's just a great factor in what we do.
Kendall, how do y'all keep that communication going on that on the entire team and getting everybody where they need to be?
We work a lot in practice where no matter what, like even if it's a rough day, we always are working on talking. That's the biggest factor. And we try to like, because you practice how you play. So we try to practice communicating, and we're always talking to each other, trying to tell each other how we can improve and how we can work together to bond more as a team.
Awesome. Well, Chelsea, talk about the coaching staff and what they've been able to do for y'all throughout your entire career. You know, y'all are talking about, Kendall was talking about, being 7th grade on, right? How has the coaching staff from junior high to Coach Porter really helped y'all reach this kind of level that y'all are playing at right now?
I feel like we have a good balance. We have Coach Porter, she's sweet outside of volleyball, but in volleyball, she keeps us in check, and she's really hard on us. It's better. Then we also have Coach Fanning to like mellow it out, say, come on, you're good, keep it up, be like the monotone in the middle for it. And then we have an assistant coach named Emily, and she just gives like feedback every now and then. So that's really good. That's how we, stay.
Balance it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Victoria, when Coach Porter's getting a little tense, she calls a timeout. Who's going to make that nice kill or that big block that's going to put that smile back on her face and get her ready to go for that next point?
most of the time, as Chelsea said earlier, it's Kennedy or Gracie, our middles. She goes for the setters and she tells them to set the middle of the ball and run and get going on the next point.
Well, and Kendall, when you look back on your career, right, Coach Porter just celebrated 400 victories. And being a part of such a storied tradition, somebody's career that is, Miss Volleyball in Ellis County. Y'all host the 4v4s over the summer, get all those kids in. Y'all do a lot of stuff in the community. And Coach Porter drives that. How honored are you to be able to play for somebody like that is such a legend in our county?
It's truly an honor. It's amazing to say that I was a part of her 400 win. I'm able to be a part, and even in her program. It's a hard program, and it's not for everybody. And I'm truly honored to even be able to be standing here today as a senior and play all the way through high school and even in middle school.
That's awesome. Well, can I ask y'all each, okay? We're going to start with Victoria, and then we'll go one by one. So y'all played together in junior high. What is one of your best junior high memories that y'all bring up now, like on a bus trip or something like that? Victoria, let's start with you.
One time there was a rat in the bleachers when we were trying to set up for a game, and we all screamed about it, and then we got in trouble for it and had to run right before we played our game. And we still talk about it to this day because it was so funny.
Chelsea, what about you?
In junior high, I didn't really play on the team. I really started my freshman year, but whenever I used to watch the game, our libero now, Mazzani, on the last point, she caught the ball in between her arms.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we laughed.
Well, Kendall, what about you? Is there a favorite memory over these past 6 years?
I'd have to say my biggest memory that sticks out to me is our freshman year. It was after we won one of our like big tournaments. Like we won the whole thing. And we got on the bus and our coach made us sing like this song. And like the whole time we had we were singing it. She was like, if y'all sing the song, then you won't have to have practice. And everybody was singing. We were all screaming the song, so we didn't have to have practice.
That's a pretty good one right there, let me tell you. So, ladies, and we'll start off with you, Chelsea, on this one. Just what's one of the big things that y'all are looking forward on this turn? I mean, you had a great first half of district. You had a great tournament season. Like I said, folks, if y'all don't understand, these ladies played some tough teams out there. They were playing top-notch talent from around the state. But, Chelsea, what's the thing that you think is going to carry y'all through this other set of district and get you ready for those playoffs?
We're actually right now we're practicing doing other transitions instead of just calling A's. So we're setting up our defense in a different way so that it'll be difficult for other teams to, block us. So I guess that's going to help us a lot, and just more practice. We're ready for Midlow now. We've just been practicing every practice. We're just working towards that, and that's our motivation right there.
All right, well, Aiken, she just said y'all are ready for Midlow. Do y'all got that one? So I know that is one of the funnest games in the county to go watch every year. Do y'all got that one circled on the calendar right now? Hey, we get redemption back here. And are y'all ready for that? And you're going to have a student section out there?
Yes,
of course.
We're trying to get everybody to come out for that game.
Okay. Well, what's some of the things that you think that y'all learned from that last time against them that'll vault you?
Go ahead.
I think that we think that sometimes we get too comfortable. And I think that we got a little comfortable and we were scared. And I think that with how we've been practicing and how we've been practicing to not be scared. And I think that if we come out in the next game and we play as a team and we play all together, that we will be able to come out and play our best.
Well, in Victoria, that's one thing that Red Oak has always had was a great student section, great cheering section. How much does that make you feel like there's nothing in the world you can't do when you get that crowd from Red Oak right behind you the whole time?
Yeah, it gives you a lot of pride to have that many people come out and watch you play a sport that you love to play. And they're all in and they want you to win, and they're just there because they want your school to be the best school that they're at.
Awesome. Well, Chelsea, y'all are, there's a lot of little girls in Red Oak and around the county that when they come out to volleyball matches and they see all these great ladies playing, they really look up to y'all. What's one of the big things as a senior that you don't take for granted anymore when it's your last year? Is it being able to be that role model for a younger lady to tell her that there's nothing in life that she can't achieve if she works hard at it? Or what is it that, gives you that big heart?
I would definitely tell them just wait on it and don't give up, because they're looking up to us now, but a few years back I was looking up to the seniors. So I would just say don't give up and keep working really hard, and then you'll be there and you'll be
awesome.
People just like how you were when you were younger.
Well, and again, one of the things that, like we mentioned this before, right? Y'all do a lot of charity work that a lot of people don't realize how much stuff y'all do. How great is it to have that moment and reflect back on all these years now of giving back and setting up that heart at Red Oak?
It's amazing because I can look back and some teams don't do as much as we do. And it's just amazing to be like, well, I didn't only play volleyball. I gave back to my community. I gave back to people that supported me. Because for the people supporting me, I love to support them. And Red Oak Volleyball loves to give back. And that's just such amazing.
Well, in Victoria, talk about a couple of the things that y'all have done this year. I know y'all had a deal just a little bit ago. Y'all have had a couple of great nights for the elementary kids out there. I was out there for Disney night with all the princesses, and everybody had their ears on and everything else. And that was wonderful. But just talk about some other things that y'all have done this year.
One day after that game, we actually went to the elementary schools and gave them out popsicles because they got to come and watch us. So we went and talked to them
and had just like good conversations with lunch at them. And then the other night was partner PE night. And so all of the partners in PE got to come and they got to watch us and we got to give them little gifts and stuff. So we get to do a lot of fun stuff. It's amazing.
Well, Aiken, I'm going to let you find your inner Michael Irvin. Okay. I want you to get fired up like you're sitting in the middle of that student section and tell them why they need to be at every one of these last few games before those playoffs start so they know what's going on and they know what to cheer for. Have at it, girl.
I think people need to come because it's such an amazing thing not to just only watch volleyball, but to watch the connections that our team has and to watch how positive we are with each other. And we're not only going to be cheering for each other, we're going to be trying to get the stands rally up. We're trying to get everybody to come. We want you to come because we not only want your support, we want like everybody, we want everyone to know that we love our community just as much as we love volleyball.
Well, and Chelsea, we know we got the fans in the stands, we got the student section, but I want each one of y'all to have a moment to talk about, especially your senior year, talk about your biggest supporter personally. Who would that be? And what makes them so special and how they've supported you through these years?
I would say that my biggest supporter is my mom, because of course, she cannot always come to all of my games because she's a nurse. She's always busy. But it's just whenever I get home and we talk about it and what happened, and she just gives me motivation and words of encouragement. It just makes me want to stay and push harder each and every time in practice and game. So my mom.
Awesome. What about you, Victoria?
I would probably have to say either my mom or my dad. They both support me very much for this. They love that I love to do it. And so whenever they can, they want to make sure that I just am happy with it and keep on pushing through it.
Awesome. Aiken, what about you?
I'd have to say it's my mom and dad because I can't tell you how many times we've just had a sit down conversation and they've told me how proud they are of me and how much they want me to keep pushing because I can strive for big things. And I know no matter what, if I have like a fall in the road or a bump, that they're going to be there to have my back.
Well, folks, I'm going to tell you what, you need to get out there. Lady Hawks, they're on fire right now. So you better get out there and watch them because you don't want to miss one kill, one dig, or one perfect set from these ladies. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. We do appreciate it, okay?
Thank you for having me.
Pinnacle Bank is here to help our community grow by partnering with local real estate agents and developers to bring the services we need.
There's so much happening here, and we're able to get Pinnacle Bank to join up with us. They've got a location at the Midlothian Crossing, and Christy, you're doing a great job. Debbie, you too. I love, for me as a local broker, is to bring local people to you as a prospect and to show that you're part of the community.
So talk with someone you can trust about commercial loans and business services. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
We are welcoming in Avalon football. We had these guys a couple weeks ago, but some good things have happened since then. We got Coach Cole, we got Sean McEwen, and we've got Eric Padron with us. Coach Cole, we'll start with you. Big win over Golston last Friday night. What was it, 48-0, right? Big old shutout. Talk about how you guys are feeling because I believe this Friday starts district play, so you got to feel pretty good rolling in district.
Yes, sir. It was a good team win. We had a great opportunity to play an opponent that, they're young. They're real young right now. Coach Blue is one of my coaches in high school too. He's over there now, and they're kind of starting over with the program. But he's gonna get those guys going. But we were very fortunate to be able to play a lot of guys on Friday night. We did win 45-0, and just able to evaluate a lot of things that I think is going to make us a lot better going into this next week with district play. The guys on here, Eric, of course, what he's been doing this year for itself. And then, I got Sean on here. He really stepped up and provided some valuable defensive plays for us on Friday night, which is going to be imperative for us moving down the road because we got to find ways to spell these guys, especially with the pace we like to play. And as we've talked about before, defensive coordinator job in six-man football, you better find some guys that can get out there and help you make some tackles. So I'm really excited, and I think it was a great night. I think we got a lot better, and I'm looking forward to district play starting.
Well, Sean, Coach talked about your defensive effort, and anytime you can shut a team out, it's great. 6-man, it seems like it is a whole nother level. Talk about how you felt and how good do you think this defense is clicking, and how much does a 48-0 skunk help build your confidence?
Coach has been working on the roles, like the different shifts we've been working on, and we've just been practicing it, and it's just been clicking for us, and it's just building confidence these last few weeks, and going into district, I think will help a lot. These different defensive looks we're going to show against Covington, so I think that'll be good.
So, Eric, when you got a defense like that that's playing on that side of the ball that good heading into district, how much better does it make you feel about what y'all are capable of doing, controlling the clock, running the ball down, scoring, and bringing those wins back to Avalon?
It makes me feel confident towards our defense because also I play defense too as safety, and this week I'm supposed to be playing middle linebacker, and I'm new to it, so we'll see how that goes. And it gives me a break in offense, and then it shows me I can confident on my defense, giving me a break.
Well, Coach, we were out there earlier when y'all just started practicing and stuff, and in the last interview we talked, tackling was going to be at a premium this year, and just watching the film from that last game, it seems like all that hard work has paid off big time. You had a bunch of stops for losses. You really didn't let them go too far. How great does it feel to have those young men stepping up in that fashion and making those solo tackles like that?
Absolutely. No, that was one of the probably things I was most impressed with is that, again, when you're playing a younger opponent and an opponent that's, you feel like you should take care of business with, it's kind of hard to say that. There's no good way to say that, but I'm looking for the fundamental things. And so when we talk a lot about tackling through the thighs, we're a couple of years ago, we were the smallest team around, and now we've gained some size and stuff like that, but utilizing those tackling methods with the size we have built, we're able to, when we drive through the thighs now, we take people down where we used to have to try to hang on and wait for the cavalry to come, but now we're able to do that. So seeing those fundamentals really come through and the use of our hands, that defensive linemen and 6-man are imperative because you have to have that flow down the line and to work off those blocks. And, I'm really proud of the way those guys have done that stuff. And probably one of the best things, Eric has been a part of that at the safety position. Sean had missed a couple of interceptions against Hermley, but, we have more interceptions right now than we have in the last 2 years combined this season. And so, really attacking the ball in the air and, when a team puts the ball in the air, we want to go get it. We want to take it away. We're forcing those turnovers. And of course, anytime you can do that in this game, it makes it huge because you just take the ball away from them. And then, like you said earlier, really being able to maintain the clock and run out the game because, when you get into these tight games that we're going to have the next couple of weeks, we got to be able to finish it with the ball in our hands is the ideal situation.
Well, Sean, y'all are starting district up on Friday, which means on the season now you are 0-0. The real meat and potatoes are starting up now. What do you feel like defensively is your strong suit that you guys have been doing the best as you open up district play?
Probably just attacking the ball, stopping them not for like big losses, but just right at the line of scrimmage and just working on the next down. And if it goes to 2nd and 15, 3rd and 15, then they're stuck at 4th and 15, and we can just lay off a little bit, and we're good from there.
Eric, kind of the same question to you, but flip side offensively on the offensive side of the ball. What do you feel like y'all are clicking at most as you begin to open up district play?
I would say our passing routes, but as you saw against Coolidge, I would overthrow it, force it too much when I shouldn't have. I should have just ran it and stuff. But I think our offense is clicking quite well at this point from week 1.
Well, Coach Cole, Eric talked about forcing it a little bit, but now getting maybe some better decisions on the route tree and the decision making. Talk about his development, but also the development of the offense in these first 6 games of the season as you get opened up for district play.
Sure, and that's like I talked to you about when we had Gabriel and Noe on here last week. The thing I love about these guys is the personal accountability. Eric was the first one to come off, and when he come off and he made a mistake, he's like, "Hey, coach, that's on me. I got to make a better decision than that." And that's what you want to see from your kids, early, especially in the non-district plays. That personal accountability. Mistakes are going to happen. Let's grow from them. But offensively, the thing with Coach Della Garza and what he does with the offense is that we find and try to play to our strengths while also isolating the defense's weaknesses. One of the things that we've really, picked up the pace with is our no huddle stuff. And six man, it's already hard enough to play defense, but when you do it at a fast pace like we try to do, it really can cause some problems for a defense, even if it's not like we're snapping the ball from 12 seconds, whistle a snap. But if we're just lining down and trying to take the defensive coordinators out of the game and making them play as base of a defense as they can, because if they can't make signs and all this stuff and communicate it, they're having to yell to the kids, and we kind of already know what's going on. So it's something that we've adapted to, and our kids have bought into it. And Eric does such a great job of reading things at the line, and when he attacks the line, making the right decision with the ball. Every kid's gonna make some mistakes, and we know that. But what we like to see is that, growing from those and moving forward. And I think that we got a real chance to do some real damage in this district offensively as the season goes on.
Well, and Sean, coming in as a freshman, you've been watching these guys for a few years now, probably, and being on the team. Now, what does it mean to have the leadership like Eric and some of these other guys talking to you and giving you encouragement? How is that building your confidence? And how is that making you a better player?
I mean, it's just good. We're building chemistry as a team, and I feel like we all have just a big friendship together. And once we build chemistry, we know when we've both all messed up, and then we know what we can do to get better, and we'll tell each other that, and we'll just work on it during the week. And so we're constantly getting better with their chemistry. So I feel like it's a great thing.
Well, and Eric, I'm going to tell you this, man. If you think you're doing too bad, 33 for 55 passing is not horrible, bud. Okay, so grin a little bit about that one. But, you're doing better than me at a buffet, let me tell you. So the big thing that I have is, y'all's pitches looked great the other night. It seemed like you were on the right angle, right tempo with them. And that just comes with timing and, trusting each other a lot. How have y'all really built that trust up this year to be able to execute at that kind of level?
We build our trust off of being comfortable with each other, relying on each other, and telling each other what makes us better and what we could do better with them, and just being comfortable with them, really.
Well, that's cool.
Well, Coach Cole, what's the breakdown on Covington? I know as you open up district, where do you feel like matchup favors you guys, and what are some things you're looking to put a stop to before that game even really gets going?
Coach Steele has been over there now for about 5 or 6 years. Excuse me. He does a great job with teaching physical nature and stuff like that. As with any team that's real physical, they sometimes they can get handsy and things like that. But I feel like our biggest advantage to us is our combination of size and speed that we have. I would say it whether he's on here or not. I think we got one of the best six-man football players in Eric Drone, and he's just a sophomore, and he can get a lot better. And everybody in the state knows that. And so the biggest challenge for him is now everybody knows it, and it's what everybody's talking about. So we have to find a way to make sure that, for him, the moment's not too big, but at the same time, focusing on our teammates and allowing them to make the plays when it needs to happen. I'm really excited for it. I think, with Covington, they're going to line up and they're going to get physical with us. We're going to have to be physical defensively. Offensively, we have to use what we do best, and that's finesse and speed and get around them and let's go, and use our pace of play to really try to wear them out, because they play probably the same 6 kids pretty much offensively and defensively. And that's why I'm so excited about, like with Sean and stuff like that, is our ability to sub in and get some sub plays and stuff like that from him and spot stuff, because what that's going to do is allow us to play with a quicker pace offensively and really get after them and hopefully wear them down. I anticipate a game that's going to be, higher scoring. The funny thing is that Friday night we worked all week long. We're not a tight team whatsoever. We worked the tight all week long, anticipating the rain. And, I'm so proud of those guys. Eric's our quarterback in the tight. He's not even the running back. So he's the only guy we got that can get under center and get a snap. So we worked it all week long. And we show up in sunshine and stuff like that. And then about the midway through the second quarter, the bottom just dropped out. And Eric's running over there getting his hands dried off. And his hands are under his armpits trying to keep them dry because we're so used to being in the shotgun. And it's just, I'm so proud of the way these kids have adapted. But we showed we could be physical when we need to. But I think with a team like Covington, you really rely on what your strength is, and that's our finesse game, and being able to get after them defensively and hopefully make them one-dimensional in what they want to do. They throw the ball well. They got some big receivers. But I believe in our kids, and I believe that we should go out and take care of business on Friday night.
Well, let me ask you as a follow-up. When we talk about Eric and the high praise, when you have a kid that's as talented as he is, when you know then that whoever you're playing has got to be scheming for him, how does that open up doors for you, knowing that you've got kids on that team that are talented? You've got guys you can go to. When he becomes a focal point, how does that open up doors and lanes for you guys to do other things and maybe catch them off guard?
Absolutely. Colby Ornalis is one I want to get on here with this in the next couple of times we do this. He's kind of transitioned into our quarterback in the 6-man in our spread offense. He's the one that takes the initial snap from the center. Eric, we use him for a lot of dump routes and stuff like that. We'll get guys just balls and you're coming downhill at Eric, and then they're covering our receivers deep, but there's nobody underneath. So Colby will just pitch it back and block a little bit, and slip out there, and the next thing you know, he's racing 50 yards down the sideline because everybody's paying attention to everything else. So it's just opportunities for those guys to make those plays. And kids like Sean, he runs a lot of the underneath routes and stuff like that, comes in as a receiver. It gives those opportunities for them because they're going to focus in on Jesse Moronis. They're going to focus in on Gabriel Pacheco. They're going to know where Eric is. It's those guys' opportunity. And I was talking about that actually funny today in practice, that those opportunities are going to present themselves. Sometimes it's better to be the guy that nobody knows about because these next couple of games where you can really make your money with what you got going on. But at the same time, understanding our guys that like Eric, who have to be able to handle those situations and get the ball to the guys it needs to go to.
Well, and Sean, you got people like Christian down there playing on the offensive line, and he's just got a bear claw on him, just throwing people around this last game. I think there threw 2 guys to the side to let somebody else in for a tackle, and then, of course, he ran one in for a touchdown later on during the game. Am I wrong on that, Coach? Wasn't that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it was awesome.
But, yeah, you got that kind of, Coach talked about physicality, and I see him bear clawing people, throwing them around. And then y'all knock the ball loose, pick it up, scoop and score on a fumble recovery. Does that not get you pumped just to go out there and just say, what do we do at Avalon? We hit people hard.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a few tackles we had on the sideline on our sideline. We got him low. We all thought it was hard. We all got excited. Every time that our defense makes a stop, makes a play, we're always cheering. So it's always a great thing to see. Like perfect tackle. One-on-one tackles. Those are always the favorite tackles, in my opinion.
Well, and Eric, one of the great things is being that star athlete out there. Somebody that everybody's looking up to. You have a chance to use your voice for a lot of good in town. You see the film and you see all these kids running around. And, they're wanting to emulate you. How do you take that and turn it into a bigger positive and show these kids, hey, not only are you great on the field, but you're a great person outside the lines as well?
I really don't know how to respond to that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're humble, okay, which is even a better sign.
Yeah.
All right? I'll tell you how you respond to it, man. Keep doing the things that you're doing on and off the field, and your name ain't going anywhere in that record book anywhere time soon in Avalon. Tell you that right now, okay? But, Coach, just talk about these 2 guys one last time. You're young up-and-comers. I know no coach is going to be happy with everything out there, but you got so many positive things happening that, nobody wants to say, you want to get through district, you want to win district. That's everybody's goal starting the season. How close have these young men made that to where it can be a real possibility now? And how strongly do you feel about that?
I feel like it's always in the realm of possibilities, but I feel like it's stronger of a possibility when you're dealing with kids like we had, the 2 that you saw we talked with the other day, and we're talking with today, you know, the humbleness, like you talk about with Eric. Eric's grown so much over the last couple of years, you know, from his demeanor to his preparation to his, you know, I mean, he was out there in practice 2 weeks ago when we played, I think it was Walnut. He's out there telling us exactly what he needs to look for. And Coach Delagarza is like jaw drop, because he's like, wow, that's what we've been waiting on, is for you to see it before we see it, because if we can see it together, it just makes us that much more dangerous.
Yeah.
And you got kids like Sean, and Sean loves football. You know, the kids that we got coming up, that they just love being around the game. You know, we've been fortunate enough to have success, and these guys have been water boys and T-boys and stuff like that, and traveled with us to these big games. And, you know, growing up at Abbott, when they first started their role of things, it was always those kids that were on the sideline, then they're playing. And it kind of started creating a tradition that you can't change. You can't buy that. There's no way to teach that or anything like that. It's just they get those moments and they get to experience them in that. And then they're like, I can't wait to experience that again. And they're willing to work and do whatever they need to achieve those goals. And, you know, it just makes it so much easier when you got kids that are humble, accept that mistakes are going to happen, but at the same time, we're not going to get down. We're going to work harder the next play. And, you know, that's coaches, players, whoever it is. We all have to take personal accountability in situations and say, hey, look, we're going to work harder next time. So I'm just so proud of these guys, these two guys, and all of our guys for the hard work they're putting in every day.
Well, Seth, Eric's not smiling right now, but I guarantee he was smiling after that last horn sounded on that scoreboard the other night.
Well, guys, Coach Cole, Sean, Eric, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your evening to join us again. I love this reoccurrence we got going on, because you guys got good things going on. And 0-0 in district, it starts Friday night, and I know you guys are excited and raring to go. We wish you the best of luck, and let's get you back on here in a couple of weeks, maybe before that Milford game, talking about a 2-0 district start. How about that, Coach?
That'd be awesome. Looking forward to it. You know, hopefully we can stay healthy and everything go our way, and we can be right back here talking about that. Hopefully talking about that one, and hopefully talking to you again right before a district championship. So
there we go.
Yeah, big hopes. So we'll see how it goes. I'm so proud of our kids, and thank you guys so much for what you do for the community of Avalon and all of our schools. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, y'all have a good evening. Be sure y'all go eat good, and good luck on Friday night. We wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
In Ellis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service, and all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
That it's cooked to order, so you're always going to get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of Delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas.
Take her away, Hoss.
We're welcoming in the Italy volleyball team. And Coach Steinmetz, I'm going to let you take it from here. Introduce these young ladies behind you.
Okay, this young lady right here is number 4, Brooklyn Steinmetz. She's our setter. The lady in the back right there, that is number 42, Cadence Hopgood. She's our outside hitter. We've got Sadie Hines in the back, number 3. She's our middle blocker. And then we've got number 6, Morgan Brown, and she is a DS.
All right, so Brooklyn, Cadence, Sadie, and Morgan, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Not bad.
And so for me, that's great. I'm horrible with names. So I appreciate y'all all coming on to join us. First off, I want to say congratulations, because y'all have had a fantastic start to the season. Coach, we'll go to you. 12-4, 5-1 in district on the year. Quite a bit of a turnaround from just a year ago, and it seems like you got quite a bit of senior leadership. Talk about the upperclassmen on this team and how y'all have started off this season doing so well.
Actually, all 4 of these young ladies are seniors. We actually have a total of 11 seniors this year. And so they're very, very talented. They've worked hard since June. We all went to a camp at SFA this summer and did a summer league. And then we also had a young lady come in and do a camp here at the Dome. And they were just pumped from day one. They want to win and they want to be successful. So that really just drives all of us.
Well, Morgan, just talk about the atmosphere down there in Italy, because I love y'all's arena, and when that thing gets pumping, how much does that energize y'all as a team?
It helps us. We want to show out when more people are here and excited and cheer us on.
Awesome.
Well, Sadie, being outside here, talk about the chemistry between the team, because it takes a lot. You've got to have the ball set up perfectly. You're also one of the top leaders in blocks on the team. Talk about playing on that front row and how the play that you're putting out there on the court helps this team move on.
Okay, I really like blocking, and it hasn't been something I've always been good at, but then all of a sudden this year, I don't know if it's I became more athletic in general, but it just started happening, and it's just really fun to have the ball just smack down the other side, and you're like, I got it, Yeah.
Well, and Cadence, that back row, that front row this year is really setting things up for the back row to get great digs. Y'all been a great presence on the net thus far. How does that work when y'all are communicating on, telling them to slide or where they need you to get set up to get that block in?
It's nice because we have trust in each other. On the front row, they're always there for if we get a tip, they're always in the right spot. And if we don't, they're still set up to get line and cross hits.
Well, Brooklyn, sliding up to you now. You've been a part of this volleyball team for a few years. You've experienced it, and I know you get to go home and you probably hear it in your ear there as well. But what feels different about this team, especially now that you're all seniors? I know everybody is locked in on their senior year, but what about this team has been special, has felt different than in past seasons?
I think everyone on the court, this being their last year, to be able to just get out there and compete, I can just feel the energy in every game, just everyone wanting to do the best and get their stats up and just make a statement in everything that we do, because this is our last chance to do that.
Well, Coach Steinman, it's coming back to you. When you look up and down the stat sheet and the roster, you're getting contributors from all up and down the roster. It's not just 1 to 2 girls. Well, if you had to take a step back and evaluate, what do you think that your team is doing exceptionally well right now? And maybe what are some areas that are coming along, but that you think will help complete this team even more as y'all move through towards the second half of district play?
I think we have the confidence. We played a tough team on Friday. We played Blum, and the nerves got to us. We also improved on some things too as well. They have exceptional hitters, but I think these girls have the confidence. They have the talent. Little things that we need to work on is sometimes they get comfortable or complacent and they forget to call the ball. So just the little things that, they learn in 7th grade, we've just got to bring some of those little things back.
Well, speaking about 7th grade, Morgan, okay, y'all been playing together since then, right? So
I moved in freshman year.
Oh, okay. Well, even in freshman year, you've been there for 4 years, right?
Yes, sir.
As a senior, what's one of your favorite moments from the volleyball program?
Probably one time we were running out and Brooklyn tripped. Oh my gosh. It just lit up the entire dome because it was just funny and it got everybody in a good mood and they had a good game.
What about you, Sadie?
Really every win is a good time, after in the locker room, and we're so excited and hyped, and I think that feeling is just the best of the season.
Cadence?
I think it's just the team that we have, and when we get a good hit, we always are Rick and Morty. Each of the hitters, it's just funny. Each of the hitters just have their own thing, and it's just fun.
What about you, Brooklyn?
This one practice, my mom, our coach, got really mad at us because she was telling us to stop, but we thought she was saying call the ball. So we were talking louder over her, and she slammed her clipboard on the ground, and it snapped in half. And everyone else was scared, but I thought it was funny. So I was laughing, and that made her more mad. So we all got in trouble, but it was a good memory.
Oh, wow. Well, Coach, you know, yeah, look at the face on Coach right now. If you thought a clipboard slapped before, you might get another one before we leave here tonight. But in all seriousness, Coach. But in all seriousness, though, you know, me and you've talked about this before. You've had these young ladies for an awful long time. You've seen them mature and grow up. What is the one thing about the group as a whole that you're most proudest of in the way that they, you know, show school pride, the way that they just represent Italy in such a great light?
Well, I think each one of them, they all have good hearts. They really do. They're caring about each other. They're not always, you know, perfect. They're not going to be. They're teenage girls. They're going to be sassy sometimes. But when it comes down to it, they will definitely take care of each other. They'll take up for each other, which I love that. But they are about to go and volunteer for a tournament in October, the end of October, called the Volley for Molly. And it's about a young lady who died of cancer. And to see those girls say, you know what, I want to go volunteer. I want to do that in the memory of this little girl that they've never met. That just tells you what kind of heart they have.
Well, and it also says a lot about the leadership that they're under and the people up there in Italy, and as far as the ISD, the administration, the teachers, and what kind of people that they're teaching them how to be as well. So I want to applaud y'all for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And these girls come from good homes too. They have great parents.
Awesome. Well, Brooklyn, I'm going to come back to you because I feel like you'll give me a very straight answer. All right. Peter usually asks this question, and it's been asked before, and I'm sure you've heard it, but new team, new year, you're winning, it's exciting. So now you talk about wins in the locker room. We talk about bus rides to game. Cadence mentioned the Rick and Morty, so I'm sure y'all are on TikTok. So who on the team is in the back of the bus, in the locker room, making TikToks, playing loud music, getting everybody hyped up for either a big win or when you're traveling to a game?
Usually it's Talia or Kinley. They always have their phones out, and Talia's always playing her music out loud, and Kinley's always like, let's make a TikTok. And Cadence is also always making a TikTok.
Now, has Coach Steinmetz made an appearance on TikTok?
She has not, but we will get her by the end of the season.
I was going to say, what's it going to take?
That will go directly in the highlight reel one week. I promise you.
I think if we get first place in the 2A part of the division of our district, she will make a TikTok with us. And I think we can do it.
Coach, any rebuttal there?
No, I think I could do that deal with them.
Awesome. That would be pretty darn good right there. Well, Morgan, I'm going to jump back over.
I get to choose it though.
Oh, okay. Well, Morgan, you know, we've talked about, you know, how great it is, all the stuff that y'all do. How great is it to have a coach like this, and the three coaches that y'all have in the program overall, and what they give to y'all? What has that meant to you thus far?
It means a lot because no matter where you are, what you're doing, or who you're with, they care for you, and they don't just push you away. They're just like, they make sure you know that, and they make sure that they're getting on to you and making sure you're doing right, and just they're always there.
Well, and Sadie, you know, being at a 2A, you have the same coaches pretty much all year long in most of your athletic events, you know, whether they're their head coach or assistant coach. How have they affected you in your life thus far?
Well, I really like all my coaches because they're not scared to push me. Like, they're not going to be sensitive because they know I can handle it. And I just like how they all coach me and care about me. And I just really feel supported by all of them. I know they have my back through everything.
Awesome. Cadence, what about you, young lady?
I like all the coaches at Italy. They always made me feel like I was like a part of the team, a part of a family. And like, they like push me hard in the games, but like after the games, I always know that they care about me not just for the sport.
That's awesome. Brooklyn? And we'll let you leave mom off of this one if you want to, but.
I like all the different variety of like coaching techniques and like how like they come at you. Like T-Rich is like sweet, so she'll just like calmly like tell you, and then my mom knows that she can like yell at me and like tell me to get it together, and I'll like do that. And Coach Reeves is the one, like when you mess up, she'll make you laugh so you can get your energy back up. So it's just all of it put together just makes for a great like coaching system.
Very good. Very good.
Awesome. Well, Coach Steinmetz, what's the upcoming schedule look like? I know you guys got a game tomorrow. What can we expect to see out of the Gladiators for the next week?
Tuesday we go to Copperell, and Saturday we play Covington again. So our district schedule has started over, but you should expect Max Preps to ding you and tell you that we're still winning.
Well, I appreciate the Max Preps updates because you wouldn't believe the amount of coaches that don't care about Max Preps or any kind of update system whatsoever. So you guys are not only winning off the court, you're making our jobs easy.
Exactly. Okay. Have you ever watched Sunday football in the NFL?
Do you watch football?
You know who Michael Irvin is? I want you to get pumped up right now. I want you to get fired up. And I want you to tell everybody in Ellis County why they need to make it down to Italy and watch y'all play some volleyball.
Y'all should come out to Italy. It's like fun time, and you will not be disappointed.
There we go. That ain't bad. All right. So Brooklyn, real quick, best thing on a volleyball court. Okay. Perfect set where it's just hanging in there for like an hour and you know somebody's just going to crush it. Or a great dig.
I would have to say a great dig because that leads to like a good set and a good hit, and it's just like the main like rock that like sets up a good everything.
Okay. And Sadie.
Yes.
Perfect hit where the girl can't even think about guarding it. It hits her in the face. You get 2 points. Okay. Or that little tapper floater right over her head when she comes up to block and she just gets weak in the legs because you just fooled her out.
You know, I'm gonna have to go with the slam, you know. It's the best. That's what I go for, you know. Yeah. 100%.
Coach, back to you real quick. One of the things I've noticed is your serves this year, especially since you've gotten into district, that serve percentage has gotten a lot higher. How is that helping y'all get that point set? It's such a reactionary sport. Everything's on a reaction. But when you can get that serve and get them off their game, how much is that helping y'all to advance the cause of getting these wins?
Oh, it helps tremendously. One thing we have stressed to these girls is it doesn't have to be the hardest serve or the fanciest serve. It just needs to be the most consistent. And so they've taken that and they've run with it and they've done a really amazing job with it. But
Awesome.
It gets us rolling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Coach and Morgan, Sadie, Cadence, and Brooklyn, we appreciate y'all so much for taking time out of your evenings to join us. Good luck against Copperell tomorrow night and then Covington on Friday. Coach, fantastic camera work, by the way. Great job. And so, but we thank y'all so much and wish you the best of luck. And hopefully we can get y'all on later explaining the TikTok that Coach did because y'all won district. That would be fantastic. And so thank y'all so much.
Good.
We wish y'all the best of luck.